What is going on, Notre Dame fans? Welcome to this week's Notre Dame recruiting update. I'm Mike Singer. With me is Kyle Kelly. As I always like to say, this show is for the junkies. It is August 28th, and if you're watching this, I mean, you are, the 1% of Notre Dame fans. This is for you. I absolutely love it. Please hit the thumbs up video, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content. And folks, football season is here. Tailgate season is here, and nobody's going to get you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day, with 8 Academy stores across Indiana and a new store coming soon to Mishawaka. Fun cannot lose, and neither can you. So gear up today with Academy Sports and Outdoors. Check out academy.com. Kyle, you doing good, my friend?
1%ers. I'm glad Hork is.
I like that.
Yeah, glad to be back at the home base, man. I've been traveling quite a bit lately, as have you. It is officially football season, and we're both hitting the road pretty hard. And maybe
not this weekend, though, huh?
Yeah, ironically. So here's the thing. High school football started last week, basically, for most states around the country. You and I got on the road, and we're going to take a bye week this week, just like Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got their week 1 game this week. College football starting a week later. They're going to have a bye week after this week. But after that, man, we're going to be hitting it pretty hard. We got a bunch of travel planned, and there's a lot of good games we saw last week and a lot of ones that we're looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah. When Kyle and I started looking at games to go to this fall, Thomas Davis Jr.'s team plays against Rodney Dunham's team. Of course, 2 Notre Dame commits on the defense side of the ball. And Kyle and I basically had to fight over who was going to get to go to that game. And that game is tomorrow.
Not really. I had it marked on my schedule, and I was like, wait, you're planning to do a North Carolina trip anyway, so why don't you just make this?
Yeah. I more or less stole it from him. Now it's not able to happen for an undisclosed reason. But, yeah, so – I was going to go this weekend, and no, I'm not. So be home, which, honestly probably is for the best, considering we're both going down to the Hard Rock Stadium. Is it technically in Fort Lauderdale? Is it Coral Gables? No, Miami's in, I think it's Fort Lauderdale, right? Actual Hard
Miami Gardens.
Miami Gardens. I always forget. Yeah.
Whatever all that is. I've been down there once, and I don't know how to decipher one neighborhood.
Yeah, it's all right. So yeah, looking forward to that on Sunday. So I will be doing the post-game show from the press box. And Bob Morton and Eric Hansen will be joining me. Not live from the press box, but they will be joining me live to talk about the game. So really looking forward that. Josh, Adam, Swandong, Eric, Horka's here. Hope everyone is well in the chat. So this Miami game is attracting a lot of big-time prospects, several of whom Notre Dame is after in the 2027 recruiting class. So, yeah, Kyle, I don't know how you just want to go through this. I've got 6 notable names pulled up that are big Irish targets, especially 3 of the 6, I would say, are like huge names to know. Mm-hmm. You want me to go through each of them?
Well, I know we kind of just, I don't know, like I sprung this topic on you like 2.5 minutes before the show. So it doesn't have to be incredibly structured, but as we get to talking about this, I actually thought about kind of, once again, to use the word structure this way, in this way. And I think it's the guys that there's a group of guys that are going to see Notre Dame on Sunday that are already getting to campus this fall. Then there's another group that aren't getting to Notre Dame, at least to our knowledge. We don't know that have plans set. So it's going to be important for Notre Dame to make a big impression on Sunday, because we don't know if those guys are going to be up in South Bend. Maybe how things go on Sunday night in Miami leads them to schedule that visit. And I think leading off, hopefully you have this guy pulled up, would be Mark Matthews, 5-star offensive tackle from Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas. Notre Dame offered him in in May. He is the number 2 overall player, top offensive tackle, according to Rivals. The Rivals industry ranking values him pretty similarly. Basically, the skinny on this recruitment sounds like Miami's starting to set the pace. Long way to go. Oregon's involved. The Florida schools are involved. But Matthews spoke to Steve Wiltfong at the end of July, mentioned Notre Dame as another team standing out. Don't think he has plans to get up to South Bend yet. Notre Dame's had some past success recruiting St. Thomas Aquinas. It's been a while, but I think if Notre Dame, impresses on Sunday night, that could go a long way. And putting a little seed in, planting a seed in his mind about Notre Dame being a little bit more of a factor in his recruitment moving forward.
Yeah, I think that it's an uphill battle here. I don't know about long shot. I think Notre Dame is one of the schools that has this attention, but
Right.
I mean, he's taken some visits, and I mean, Notre Dame's not been one of them yet, but he's taking a trip to Oregon. He's taking a trip to Nebraska. So I think like when you see a prospect taking trips that far from home and you're a South Florida kid, that always signals to me that they are willing to get out. And yeah, I saw Mark Matthews at the Future 50 in Bradenton, Florida at the end of June, and I left that not thinking that Notre Dame had a great chance, but then more reporting comes out. And it's like, okay. So I thought that was interesting. Matthews' teammates is Julius Jones Jr. from Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas, number 66 overall player, number 14 wide receiver. His dad is a fan favorite in Notre Dame lore, that's for sure. Of course, Julius Jones Sr., the outstanding running back. So, yeah, Julius is one of those who were expecting to visit Notre Dame this fall. Do not have anything confirmed at this point, but I would just don't be surprised if you see one of these days like a Wiltfong or one of us or Simmons or whoever reports that he's visiting for the A&M and or USC games in South Bend. And to my knowledge, I've been saying that like Jones has not been to Notre Dame in a recruiting capacity yet. He just may have never been to Notre Dame yet. I again, I can't confirm that, but I'm not sure. And he told me at that same event, the Future 50 in Florida, that he really wanted to get to Notre Dame for his first recruiting trip for one of those night games that his dad just told him how different and special those were. So yeah, he'll see Notre Dame play against Miami, and this is not Julius Jones' first time seeing Notre Dame play. He was at the Orange Bowl and then said he was rooting on the Irish against Penn State. So yeah, big opportunity for Notre Dame to impress Julius Jones.
I have a story coming out later today, and I'll do a little teaser just about some of these guys that are going to be in Miami from the Notre Dame for when they take on the Hurricanes Sunday night. And I made a little bit of a bold statement with Julius Jones. I said that the Notre Dame, aside from keeping their 26 guys locked in, I feel like the biggest priority for the recruiting staff this season is to get Julius Jones Jr. on campus. So might be a little bit bold, maybe a little bit of a hyperbole, but I think it would be a really big deal if he gets up to South Bend, and I think he will. And why don't we just keep it, Mike, on the theme of St. Thomas Aquinas, since we've talked about two of those guys. And the third one would be Zayden Gamble, another guy kind of that you focus on a little recruiting a little bit more than me. And if this is your first time joining us or don't know a whole lot about how Mike and I structure things, we both cover recruiting for Notre Dame. I'm based in the Midwest. Mike is based in the South. I tend to focus on the Midwest guys. Mike tends to focus on the guys in the South.
And the quarterbacks.
That doesn't mean that I ignore Mike's prospects and that Mike ignores mine. I mean, we all talk to everyone, but just generally, we kind of focus on, some guys that are more local to us than others. But from what I know about Zayden Gamble, considering getting up to campus for the USC game, I don't think that's locked in yet. But another guy that, I think the Notre Dame has a chance with. It's hard when you go into South Florida and try to get those guys out of St. Thomas Aquinas. But I'm going to steal your comparison, and I know you're probably getting ready to say it, but I have to
I
preface
have
it.
no idea what it is, so I'm looking forward to
Aiden
this.
Pouncey in the 26.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
no one expected him. Now, granted, he's out of Orlando, but he had the same schools recruiting him as Gamble, such as the Floridas and the Miamis. I'm sure Florida State was involved, and
Michigan.
yeah, those schools were all coming after Pouncey, but Notre Dame pulled off a little bit of an upset in getting him to commit, and I don't think either of us would. Maybe it would be surprising now, but maybe not so much later down the road if Gamble was one of those guys that, maybe we didn't think was going to end up in Notre Dame's class, but very well could.
Yeah, he was on the it was St. Thomas Aquinas versus Mater Dei. I only got to watch a couple plays of that. I was running around that day. But yeah, so Zayden Gamble was making sure Swan Dong's correct. Saw him made a play. Yeah, so this was another kid at that Future 50 at the end of June, and it's kind of like it's like a media day where the people come out and or like the recruits come out and media members will just kind of talk to him. So I was waiting to talk to Gamble, who I want to say added Notre Dame to his offer sheet in May as well. And like a Florida or Florida State reporter was talking to Gamble, and of course, hey, where are you going to visit? That question was asked, and Gamble mentioned wanting to get up to Notre Dame. So if the Notre Dame guy's asking a bunch about Notre Dame, feel like the recruits or whatever school it is, like the recruits kind of are like, all right, I want to talk about this school and say good things about this school. But for just a Florida State reporter to ask, hey, where you want to go, and then he mentions Notre Dame, like kind of unprompted. That signaled to me, okay, like I think there is something to watch here. And then I did end up getting my own interview with Gamble, and wrote a story about that. Let's see, when did I write that? It took me a little while to get to it, but it's on there somewhere on his Rivals profile. But yeah, that was I think he's a notable one. And then let's move on to I think this is an absolute huge one. David Jacobs from Roswell, Georgia, Blessed Trinity Catholic, 5-star in the 27 class, number 12 overall, player number 3 edge. Now, here's a little nugget. This kid will be visiting Notre Dame in the fall. I'm pretty confident it'll be for one of those 2 big night games. I texted him this morning. I'm checking in with him. He's been pretty focused on his football season. Not a big texter right now, but nugget for you guys. David Jacobs, fully expect this 5-star pass rusher to visit Notre Dame this fall, and I'll be following up on it. Multiple sources have told me that that is very likely to happen. So yeah, he's going to be at Miami this weekend again. Kyle, like, no, Notre Dame cannot talk to the recruits. There's been times that like at some rivalry games where like a Miami will beat a Florida on the road or whatever, and the Miami players will go over to the recruit section, and right, I think that happened last year, and they'll say, hey, come to the U. I don't foresee Notre Dame doing that, but there is definitely something to, like, a kid is considering both schools, and Notre Dame goes out and wins, and then what that recruiting staff is doing that night. They're texting, like, after the game, they're texting all these kids. Notre Dame is going to know who is going to be at the game, right? Kyle and I, if Kyle Kelly and Mike Singer are talking about who's going to be at the game, you better damn believe that the Notre Dame recruiting office knows who's going to be at the game. So they can't have face-to-face, hey, let's talk while you're at the game. No, of course not. But it's a really good opportunity to show out in front of those prospects, and then connect with them afterwards and talk about the game. If Notre Dame wins, if they lose, different story. But yeah, I can't emphasize enough that it's a great opportunity.
Those were the 4 main ones I want to hit on. Like I said, I'm gonna have a story later today on Blue and Gold about all the guys with Notre Dame offers that are going to be in Miami on Sunday night. I put a handful of other names in my story, but I think these 3 or 4 that we talked about are really the key ones, because at least to my knowledge, I mean, I know you said Jacobs and well, I guess all these guys, maybe aside from Matthews, kind of have like, I wouldn't even call them tentative plans. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is they might visit Notre Dame this fall. We don't know that for sure. That's not confirmed. We don't know that flights are booked and hotels are set. So that's why I wanted to talk about those guys. And, like you said, great opportunity for Notre Dame to impress these guys in person.
Yeah. Real quick, just run through a few others. Xavier Hassan, who is top 100 corner from Raleigh, North Carolina. He's visiting. I think we've reported on that, Kyle. He's visiting Notre Dame this fall. Kyle nodded. Luke Brewer from Iowa is going to be there. Interesting, 4-star tight end from Iowa going down to Miami for this game. Brewer's, was he a pot of gold offer, Kyle?
He was not. I think they offered a couple weeks later and during that spring evaluation period.
Yeah, Brewer's not really one of the tight ends that we talk about a ton in the 27 class, but someone on the board who the Irish have offered. And then one other, Devin Robertson from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 4-star, 6'1", 320-pound defensive lineman who, Kyle and I both believe is favoring Notre Dame, actually. So picture for folks watching on YouTube of him is it's a Notre Dame lanyard picture that Kyle Kelly took after Robertson's Notre Dame visits. So yeah, that's a rundown and kind of some recruiting nuggets about Notre Dame playing at Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Homefield, which is the exclusive apparel sponsor of this show. And if you don't know them, I don't know what the hell you're doing. You must be new here. We talk about them each and every week. The premium collegiate apparel brand based out of Indianapolis, and they've built their name by making the most comfortable, officially licensed, vintage-inspired college gear out there. We're talking hoodies, crew necks, tees, bomber jackets, hats, you name it. And make sure you check out Homefield's Can't Miss Kickoff 2025 campaign, which includes the outstanding Notre Dame football box. And it's got the hoodie, long sleeve t-shirt. Like, I absolutely love this t-shirt. I think it looks fantastic. They've got special drops lined up all month with the football boxes, coaches jackets, crew necks, bombers, and more. And a birthday promo to celebrate their big day while you get ready for kickoff. You guys know I've been rocking the Homefield collection for a while now. I wear Homefield almost every single day. With how long they've been a sponsor of us, I get to have the opportunity to get a lot of the Homefield stuff. And my wife wears Homefield as well. It's in her rotation. So if you're like me, you're counting down the days to kickoff, which is 3 days? We're just 3 days away from kickoff. Then don't wait. Go to homefieldapparel.com. Check out the Notre Dame line. And obviously they've got a massive lineup of schools gear from across the country. So go to homefieldapparel.com. Check it out. Find your favorite design and get ready to rock Notre Dame in style. And dude, I got a package the other day, and I was not expecting this at all. There's your boy with the can't miss kickoff football box, and there is the cutest little baby of all time, my 10-month daughter. I got that yellow shirt, and the heavyweight hoodie is phenomenal. It's a little hot right now, but I will 100% be rocking that on the daily. The long shirt with the shot of Notre Dame Stadium looks fantastic. So homefieldapparel.com. That's a freaking cute baby, man, who's I hope napping right now. All right. So Kyle, your travels last week, we're going to go there. You got to see Kemon Spell, the 5-star class of 2027 running back, who's been in the news this week. You had a great intel report on him. Hayes Fawcett reported that there's 6 schools that are in the mix to flip Spell, and that's in Spell's own words. So I think that's obviously notable. The number 9 overall player, top running back in the country, according to Rivals 247 and ESPN. Let's talk about his game. Let's talk about the recruitment. I'll give you the floor, Kyle.
Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of clarifications on pronunciations throughout the show. So first and foremost, it is Kemon Spell.
Alrighty.
But this cat is different. I haven't been covering high school football as long as you. This, I think, will start my.
He's a man amongst boys, dude.
Yeah, this is like 6 or 7 years of covering high school football, fourth covering recruiting. I've not seen a player as special as Kemon Spell, and this was the first play of the game. Opening kickoff return, he went untouched, and that's more of a credit, honestly, to the blocking on that play. But Spell's vision to read the lanes there and go for the touchdown was just impressive. And this guy, his balance when running the football is impeccable, as you can see in this shot. Change of speed, change of direction. There's no surprise that he's the number one running back in the class. And Rivals director of scouting and rankings, Charles Power, he was plugged in to Spell's game on Saturday, came away just as impressed. I know Spell did, or Power did some analysis on Spell last week, and came away pretty highly, or felt pretty highly about his performance. So not a surprise to see Notre Dame really going after him here. Spell committed to Penn State last August. Their running backs coach at the time was Jaywan Sider. Jaywan Sider is now at Notre Dame as the running backs coach, and I straight up asked Spell. I was like, "You're taking all these visits. You committed early. Have you thought about decommitting from Penn State? Has that been on your mind? Has that been an option?" He told me no, emphatically no, right away. But I think things could change this season once he gets on campus. I feel like a lot of people have that Notre Dame visit circled on October 18th when he comes to town for the USC game. I heard from somebody, and that is, I don't know how to phrase this, but basically someone that said they feel like Notre Dame has the best chance to flip him out of any school. So take that for what it's worth.
Dude, this play is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know.
This is the one that went viral, right? That play went viral, and then that former Pitt player tweeted, "Why is no one celebrating with him?" Bro, that really pissed me off when I saw that. I responded to the guy.
I responded too, because
you responded professionally. I responded with, "You're a troll," basically. Like,
here's the thing that people don't realize is that viral touchdown was his fifth of the game, and they went up like 3 or 4 scores. I think they had 50 points at that point or something. And it, like, Pittsburgh and Midwestern and that part of the country heat is not the same as Texas and Florida heat with the humidity and all that, but it was pretty dang hot last Saturday in Pittsburgh. Like, there were 5 or probably 10 guys like on the sideline just with tons of cramps for McKeesport. So like they were absolutely exhausted by the time Spell scored that 5th touchdown. So
yeah.
To be honest, with impressive as he is, I think they've kind of come to expect that at this point. So yes,
takes, man. Like, people just because you have a thought, you don't need to post it. You just don't have to. And now we're in this age where, like, just rage bait is more popular than ever.
That has to be a video game term because I've never heard that.
Rage bait?
Yeah.
You're baiting rage, right? That's what you're doing. Like, you just say something that is going to attract a lot of attention. It's like clickbait, but rage bait. You're just baiting rage. And but it is what it is. It works. So bro, Kyle, do you have Snapchat?
Yes.
So like the stories thing, you have like on the I want to say right side of the app, but that doesn't make sense. But there's like influencers. Yeah, you swipe over. And I saw one, and it was AJ from the Costco guys.
Yeah.
We bring the boom. You don't know the Costco guys?
No, sir.
You're not chronically online like I am, but
no.
And the thing on the Snapchat said he's finally banned from Costco, and there's a picture of AJ. Like, he's not banned from. He's not like that. Like, it's just like people like just clickbait is like factually incorrect You are baiting them, and it raged me. That's for sure. I don't know how I got on this, but I saw that this morning, and I was like, just intentionally misleading people. No, he was not banned from Costco. But that's like just the internet world we live in.
Well,
People will intentionally mislead you or just say wrong things, and people just believe it.
You want to know a good example of that this week, and maybe I shouldn't bring it up because I don't know the full story, but I actually know that one, Mike. Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, I don't know how you missed the Costco guys.
Well, how about Dave Portnoy getting banned from Ohio State when he wasn't planning to be in the stadium for that part of the set? I don't know. There's a lot that goes into that. And in case you're not following the story, Dave Portnoy is founder of
What is this?
School.
I know I just went on a tangent, but you are going on a big tangent here. What does this have to do with anything?
Well, I'm just letting people know that the Barstool Sports owner and founder, Dave Portnoy, he is on the Fox Big Noon kickoff set pregame show that also includes Brady Quinn. And he's a major Michigan guy, big NIL guy at Michigan, and Ohio State is not letting him in the stadium for the pregame show, which he wasn't even supposed to be in the stadium on the pregame set to begin with. So you'll see him outside when they.
Why are you telling this story?
Because this goes back to the rage bait thing that you were talking about. That it was essentially made up that Portnoy was banned from Ohio State, and then Ohio State released a statement.
Oh, did they?
And they said that Fox did not even tell us that Portnoy was going to be inside the stadium for this part of the segment to begin with. So
sounds like a whole lot of nothing.
It was Michigan or someone or whomever floating that out there to get a bunch of attention and all that, and went viral this week.
I love it. Absolutely love it. You know what else I love, Kyle, is supporting local businesses like Augie's Locker Room, which has unique, one-of-a-kind Notre Dame items. And you really can only find these things at one place, and it is Augie's, which is now at 1733 North Ironwood Drive, just down the street from Notre Dame. So if you're coming to a game this fall, you got to make time for Augie's. Check out their wide selection of Notre Dame Stadium pieces, jerseys, helmets, one-of-a-kind Rockne items, and more. And, I mean, since I read this ad last, this is new. Full-size Notre Dame football signed by Joe Montana. Another one signed by Bettis Golick and Rocket. A monogram ring. 7 Notre Dame Heisman Trophy winners ballots. I mean, where else are you getting this stuff?
How much are those ballots going for?
$1,200.
All right, Augie, let's negotiate. Those are all 7 of them?
That is crazy.
How are those on the market?
Auggie, bro. Paul Horn. I mean, goodness gracious.
Watch. Those things are going to be off the market by September 14th.
Tim Brown. I mean, come on. What are we doing? How's this not sold yet? Go to Augie's Locker Room, ladies and gentlemen. Visit Auggie, 1733 North Ironwood Drive. Go to his website, augieslockerroom.com. Give him a call, 574-277-6363. And don't waste his time when you call him, because I'd want to call him and just ask him how the hell he got that. But maybe when I'm in town, I will stop in at Auggie. So, yeah, augieslockerroom.com. All right, cool. All right, let's move along, Mr. Kelly. And let's talk about those games we were at, or the game I was at last week. Let me see.
I'm pumped to hear about this one because we were both covering games on Friday night, and I was trying to kind of keep along. I have Twitter notifications on for you, obviously, as
of course
you and like 250 other people. So I was getting the
notification. You think 200 people get notified every time I tweet?
No,
that seems
no. I have you and about like 250 other people.
You're joking. Please tell me that's a
lot of them are recruits, man. I mean, so thankfully recruits don't tweet all the time, but
Kyle, brother.
Hayes Fawcett.
That's next level paranoia. 200.
Hayes
I've got a
Fawcett,
few. I like,
Tefty,
I got my
Tefty,
coworkers. I got all my coworkers just in case Tyler tweets something dumb or
BGI.
Tyler has a typo. Gotta let the boy know. I like to know what my coworkers do. But yeah, 200. That's crazy.
Wilt Fong. It's a little overhyped because, like I said, a lot of those.
All right, I recommend you go through that and be like, I really don't need this person. Just do it for you.
No, I determined if I don't need those people based on if I find that their notifications aren't prevalent. Dude, I'm telling you, it's a way better way to do it because I'm not trying to stay locked into Twitter all day long.
Yeah, I hear you, but then your phone just buzzes all the time. And all right, anyways, let's move on.
Watch.
So I was at Noah Grubs' game, and I'm gonna just do like a super quick recap, and then if you're listening to this as a podcast person, like this is just more of a video show, but we're gonna kind of recap the game here. Grubs' team was getting just beat up. It was bad. It was really bad. But it was only 29-7. So it's like he still can come back. But with 8 minutes left, you're down 29-7. And I mean, their one touchdown was in the first quarter, and Norland got stopped, had a terrible punt that went maybe 10 yards. So Lake Mary gets set up at the 30-yard line and, scores. So, but otherwise, I mean, they could not move the ball. It was an anemic offense. And they end up winning 30-29. And one of the craziest comebacks, it was just touchdown, stop, touchdown, stop, touchdown, stop. And then Lake Mary was behind 29-28. Field goal lined up to tie the game 29-29 or, extra point. And Norland jumps offside. And then Lake Mary goes for 2 and wins it. 44 seconds left, though, so not really wins it. Norland, and I'll play the video in a second. Norland then marches downfield, has an opportunity to kick a chip shot game-winning field goal, and it's blocked like the last play of the game. It was insane. So as I put this video kind of recap together, I wanted to include this first play where Grubs just gets wrecked because that was Grubs' first play of the game. I don't know what that assignment, like if Grubs should have got the ball out quickly because there was he should have, like, if that was by design, like, hey, let's leave this backside rusher because you're going to get the ball out by then, or if the running back should have chipped that. I don't know. To me, the running back should have, but yeah, he just got crushed there. But to kind of set the tone for what the early game was. But yeah, I mean, connecting. Look, for Grubs on this game, it was a lot of short game, takeoff, which was good to see. Something I haven't seen a whole lot of him, like picking up, rushing yards. So he had 10 carries for 41 yards, and then this was his first half touchdown. Nice ball to FIU commit there. But yeah, a lot of quick game running, and then touchdown passes. He threw 3. And had 2 picks, including a pick 6. And yeah, here's more escapability, like good vision to. It's not just like I feel like now it's on 4th and 15. Like if you think about quarterbacks escaping, it's so much about like getting outside the pocket. Grubs did a really good job about seeing running lanes, north and south, like getting between the A gap. I mean, that was a really nice like tackle break, right? Like ducking under the would-be sack. But yeah, Grubs 12 of 24, 154 yards. Wasn't very pretty, but again, accounted for 4 touchdowns with 3 passing and the rushing score. And yeah, I mean, a little RPO game. This was his 2nd touchdown pass, rolling right. Can't see it. It wasn't a great shot, but I mean, if you hold on, let me go back. So 9:30. I've been saying 8 minutes. Apparently, it was 9:30 left in the games when they cut it to 29 to 14. And then the comeback was on. Defense gets a stop. Of course, we're talking about Noah Grubs, the longtime Notre Dame quarterback commit. Yeah, I thought it was 8 minutes left when they were down 29-7. It was 9.5 minutes. I've been saying that wrong. But yeah, here comes. I mean, the guard on that play just let the defensive lineman run right at Noah. Just didn't even touch him, but Noah was able to make something happen. Quarterback sneak here to get the game to 29-21 or 20. Yeah, 29-20. And then Lake Mary went for 2. Grubs finds his running back in the flats. And yeah, gets it to now 29-22. And defense gets a stop. Here's a little tunnel screen that went for a huge gain. Again, Grubs could not get anything going deep passing game. Nothing. I mean, I don't know how. I still don't know how Lake Mary won that football game. It was really just some heroics. The defense definitely stepped up. This was Grubs' longest pass play, like in terms of through the air, right? The tunnel screen went for 40, 50 yards or whatever, but that like 15-yard touchdown was his longest pass of the game in terms of ball in the air. And then that was it. That they were trailing 9-28, and then Lake Mary ran in a 2-point conversion, and that won them the game. So TP Adams says the live tweeting of this game had him on the edge of his seat. It was, dude, Kyle, I know you've been here before where you're at a game and you're like, I have to write something. The company paid me to come out here. I got to do something. And you don't really want to write this kid stunk, because Noah stunk. I mean, the whole offense stunk, but Noah, I mean, he threw. I didn't actually get video of the pick six, but he threw a pick six and it was on his fault. It was his fault. And the other pick was his fault. It was an all-time stinker. And not only did they pull off the win, they beat Miami Norlands, one of the top teams in the state every year. So usually when Kyle and I pick which games to go to, we either want like a marquee game or a home game of a Notre Dame commit or target where you feel like they're going to put on a show and you're going to get a good interview afterwards. But for me, I don't need to interview Noah Grubs. I've probably interviewed him 10, 15 times. I really just wanted to see a good game and see what Noah was made of. And we definitely did that. Definitely saw what he was made of. So takeaways was just like, yeah, the moxie, the poise, the ice in the veins of Noah Grubs, and some really good moments for him getting outside the pocket and stepping up in the pocket, breaking some tackles, making some guys miss, and making plays with his legs. So, Kyle, any reaction to Grubs?
You know what's impressive to me is he's doing this without arguably his number one wide receiver from last year, Brian Williams Jr. Was he Grubs' number one last year?
No, probably
No.
not. Probably in like the downfield game, maybe. Yeah, it's he doesn't have. I mean, the FIU commit, the Barrett kid is pretty good, but I mean, it's not a vintage O-line. The running backs are decent. Had some fumble problems in their kickoff classic, and then the receivers are okay. They're good. The Barrett kid's pretty good, but it's a lot of here, Noah, carry us right now.
I mean, that's the true definition of quarterback elevating the talent around him. You know, it's so big win on a Grubs, man. That I'm glad you got to see an exciting game, and even though might not always be pretty, the wins and losses are what matter most, and I think that could be the case with CJ Carr on Sunday night. Like,
yeah,
he's gonna make his first start. Notre Dame, they don't need CJ Carr to start his Heisman campaign on Sunday night. Like, if CJ Carr throws 10 completions and 18 incompletions and maybe an interception or two, but as long as they win the game, that's all that matters.
True. Just win, baby. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel for more content. If you missed it, last night was live with former Notre Dame offensive lineman Bob Morton, who was tremendous. Great speaker, told great stories. I feel like that was like my second time talking to Bob. We've texted throughout the week, but I talked to him on the phone Monday, and basically said, hey, do you want to do a show with me? And and then on the show. And I thought we had really good chemistry. And then Bob had great insights about the Notre Dame football team and the Miami matchup. Talked about CJ, talked about, Absher Gerby. Thought he had some really interesting takes. So please, folks, go to our YouTube channel and go to like the live stream section and watch that if you have not done so yet. He was awesome. TP Adams says Bob sounded like he'd been doing this forever. He has been doing it with Eric and Tyler before they joined us at Blue and Gold. He had been on their channel for a couple years, but he was outstanding. I'm super pumped up about not only adding Tyler and Eric, but add those two guys with this YouTube channel that was already the biggest and best in the market with me, Kyle, Tyler, and Jack, and then we bring in Robbie Toma and Bob Morton. It's just so much fun. These two former Notre Dame players from different eras who also were coached by Mike Denbrock as their position coach, which I think is awesome. It is really neat. So to
That's
get
wild.
their perspective on Denbrock it's neat. Now, Bob explained that like Denbrock was the tackles and tight ends coach, and Bob was obviously an interior offensive lineman, but still pretty. And one other thing I kind of dogged on how I don't like offensive line rotation, and Bob, of course, was a part of that. So that was actually interesting to hear from him as well. So like the past able to speak about what's going on is always unique. Okay, I'm gonna give Kyle the floor again. We talked about Spell's game Saturday, but Friday you saw Joey O'Brien and Grayson McHugh. Pronunciation check.
Oh gosh, I don't want to mess it up, but it's like an Irish version of McHugh. So McHugh is how you say it. Grayson McHugh. So I don't know.
Kid is Irish literally and literally.
So that's how you say it.
But I feel like McHugh it's
more
safe.
reasonable. Yeah, more reasonable.
I don't know if Kyle Kelly and I will be doing the Irish version of it. I think McHugh.
Not McKee.
Not McKee.
So
McHugh is closer. Okay, but we'll talk more about Grayson next week. Just for the sake of Kyle couldn't get that ready to go, which I've been there. Don't worry about it, Kyle. But let's talk about Joey O'Brien's performance in this game on both sides of the ball. So obviously the Notre Dame elite two-way athlete commit who will probably play safety for the Irish.
Yeah, you'll still see Grayson in this video when Joey's on offense. He's number 78 on the right side. On our right there. You can see him. He's playing left tackle. But, yeah, this was actually a very exciting play. You might have to rewind it eventually. Just wait till the play is done. But this was so
he misses the tackle and then lays the dude out. But he was pissed.
So this was them lining up as an offensive formation, as if they were going to go for it on 4th and 20. I didn't think they were going to. And then their quarterback, 3-star commit to Missouri, did a little pooch punt. And as you see, Joey O'Brien missed the initial tackle, and out of nowhere, just
the truck stick,
flying down the field with aggression and anger, and sent that kid.
Bro, what is with you and missing the play?
Yeah,
you gotta you do this.
So
you do this too much, Kyle.
I might have cropped that video wrong or shortened that, trimmed it wrong.
You also talk a lot to people. You're a big talker on the sideline. Lock in.
I'm doing my best, man. The other challenge that I had is that our buddy Jack Sobel has our video camera.
Yeah, phone footage is fine.
Yeah, the phone.
You can tweet out clips more. Oh, Joey, you got to pick that off. All right, I'll give you the floor, Kyle.
Yeah, that would have been a pick 6. And if you see Joey yelling right there, I could hear that from 25 yards away. He really wanted that. But in case you're seeing, Joey's always in the area, the football. He came up pretty close to a couple interceptions, but was also involved on offense. I think finished with 6 receptions for 62 yards by my count, which is not official, Let's make that clear, but I did my best to keep accurate stats. But the storyline coming out of this game was that toward the end of the first half, Joey was running a route on the sideline, and he went up for a pass, and the Pittsburgh Central Catholic defender, ironically, I think it was the one who returned that punt. It was a completely clean play, but the Pittsburgh Central Catholic defender went up for the football, and he ran into Joey midair. And those sidelines there are super narrow. So, like the wall, I actually, I had to count off how many steps it was. So, it was 5 yards from the wall to the field. And there was a kicking net right there, one of those old-fashioned hard steel kicking nets in front of the wall. So, basically, right near the sideline. And Joey smoked his arm, and he had a pretty gruesome gash. I ended up seeing the picture of it after the fact. It was nasty, and he was bleeding quite a bit. But they wrapped him up, and he played through in the second half. I mean, the guy he couldn't even raise his arm above his head. So they had to limit what he did on offense in the second half, and then he also on defense he lined up about 15 yards off the ball in like a free safety position. I quizzed him pretty hard afterward if that was, the coaching staff protecting him or if that was more of a matter of, they've worked on that during practice and in film or, that's sort of typical thing. And it turned out to be the case. But, yeah, overall, I mean, I feel like I kind of knew what to expect going into this because Joey is a freak. I would have been cool to see him make a couple of interceptions, but one thing he's working on this year is tackling. So this was actually he made this catch in the second half with that injury on his right arm. So he's a baller, man. You can see the wrap that he had in the upper part of his arm. But as I was saying, tackling is a big point of emphasis for him this year. He proved on the 7-on-7 circuit. We had Cody Belair come on here and say that Cody Belair being Rivals national scout who helps out with evaluations and rankings, he said Joey O'Brien was the most impressive 7-on-7 player he's ever seen. So we know Joey can make the plays in the defensive backfield in the pass game. Tackling is a big point of emphasis, and I feel like it was probably a little disappointing to Joey in the second half of that game that he was playing with an arm that he was playing with one arm essentially. So there was a little bit of tackling struggles there, but I think we're going to see a big jump from junior year to senior year for him, which would be another big testament to him because he was the conference MVP as a junior last year as a two-way player. I think we expect a lot out of him this year. The coaching staff does as well. And one final thought, man, you're right. I do talk to a lot of people on the sideline, and I try to multitask. I mean, to be honest, man, it's to get the full picture of this sort of thing. We go out to cover these games, and yeah, video highlights are a big part of it, but there's nothing like getting to talk to different people and learn more about these kids' backgrounds. You get a lot of invaluable information, and a lot of people at LaSalle asked me, is Joey going to start next year? Is Joey going to play? And I pretty much told them it's going to be hard because the way Notre Dame has recruited defensive backs under Mike Mickens has been remarkable. That is the deepest position on the Notre Dame team. It's arguably one of the most deepest position groups in the country. But I feel like Joey O'Brien is one of those guys like Kyle Hamilton was 4 or 5 years ago, or gosh, even further than that, but where Notre Dame just couldn't keep him off the field. And I think that's going to be the case with Joey O'Brien. He proved that on Friday night, and I expect him to continue to state his case throughout the remainder of the season.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel for more content. That is going to do it for the show. 4 shows in 4 days for me. I'm a little YouTubed out, but we'll have more content tomorrow after Marcus Freeman's press conference, and then myself and Tyler James will be doing a big like USC. I was just reading something on the message board about USC. Big Notre Dame Miami preview, 3 keys, and prediction to the game, as we always do here at Blue and Gold. So lock into this channel. Sunday after the game, we'll have the post-game show with myself, Bob Morton, and Eric Hansen. On Monday, Thomas Takes. Tuesday, it'll be back on with Bob. Wednesday, 6-pack. Next Thursday, this show. And then we'll have other, recruiting update videos. And what's up?
I said you're an animal.
Plus, let me clarify articles on blueandgold.com.
Tomo's show. Is that going to be every Monday, or will that be Sundays after this week?
Yeah. So Mondays, and then Sundays we will do a big Blue and Gold staff show.
That's right. Yep.
So we have 6 full-time writers at Blue and Gold, and so we won't do that for the Miami game, obviously, because the game is on a Sunday, and then we won't have the next week. So after the day after the A&M game, we'll do that. So I will host that, and whoever's around to pop in and talk about the game, we will have that on Sunday. So yeah, I think the only day of the week we don't have a live show is Fridays. Otherwise, I'm live 6 days a week. It's a good bit, but
you're gonna stretch yourself too thin.
But the thing is, it's Monday night with Toma, Tuesday night with Bob. But otherwise, I got like a 5 o'clock for a 6-pack, 11 a.m. for this, and the post game show. So it's only 3 nights a week, which is good. I did that very strategically. That's why this show is in the morning. The 6-pack is at 5, so I don't have to do nights. So it's at least during working hours. That's important to me. But anyways, that is going to do it for this week's Notre Dame recruiting update. I hope you guys found some of this insightful and informative. Not really a whole lot going on in the 26th class. Notre Dame's just keeping their guys locked in, but we will, for next week's show, find something to talk about. And then
McKee, he'll be one of them, or McHugh.
Gosh,
that way to end of the show.
Shaking my head. But then the following week, huge show as we preview the visitors for the Notre Dame Texas A&M game. So again, folks, lock into this Blue and Gold YouTube channel. Also go to blueandgold.com, the home for all things Notre Dame Fighting Irish football and recruiting coverage, the absolute place to be. So make sure you log in at blueandgold.com. Appreciate you all. And as always, we will catch you next time.